In the annals of the Old West, where stories of heroic lawmen and notorious outlaws intertwine, few characters embody the paradoxical nature of this era like Burton Alvord. Alvord will become a respected lawman, wearing a badge and defending justice on the uncompromising border. However, fate took out another path for him, as he finally succumbed to the lure of an outlaw lifestyle, giving up his prestigious profession and the plunge into a life of crime. In this video, we dive into the compelling story of Burton Alvord, tracing his transformation from respected lawman to notorious outlaw, whose exploits captivated the imaginations of many in the tumultuous days of the Old West. Remember to hit the like button because it helps us a lot. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell to not miss the upcoming interesting videos. Burt Alvord was born on September 11, 1867, in Plumas County, California. His father, Charles E. Alvord, a native of New Zealand, worked as a miner and machinist for several mining companies. However, Charles eventually turned to community service, taking on roles such as police officer and justice of the peace in the various towns the family lived in. Due to the ever-changing needs of the mining industry, the Alvord family moved frequently from boomtown to boomtown during Burt's early years. By 1879, the family had settled in Plumas County, Arizona Territory. However, their stay there was short-lived as they soon moved to Tombstone in Cochise County. Alvord's education was informal, but he may have learned a lot from his father's cases of local disputes. In addition, Alvord spent considerable time working at the famous OK Corral, where he absorbed a wealth of knowledge about the area and its inhabitants. Contrary to popular belief, there is no credible evidence to support the claim that Alvord witnessed the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral in 1881. However, the chaotic and lawless atmosphere for which Tombstone was famous left a lasting impression on a certainly young Alvord. Despite Alvord's reputation for frequenting pubs and engaging in bar brawls, Cochise County Sheriff John Horton Slaughter saw potential in him and named him deputy in 1886. That same year, Alvord faced the tragedy of losing his mother. Initially, Alvord served as Slaughter's subordinate, performing a variety of tasks that showed his lack of experience and ingenuity in law enforcement. He is often described as not noble, temperate, far-seeing, or unselfish. However, he assisted Slaughter in capturing or eliminating many attackers, thieves, and outlaws from 1886 to 1889. Unfortunately, over time, Alvord's reputation suffered due to his obvious signs of alcoholism. Frequenting the pubs, Alvord eventually began to associate with gamblers and suspected outlaws, prompting Slaughter to reprimand him. Faced with this advice, Alvord relinquished his position. Alvord then began his legal career in the 1890s, practicing law in as many towns as Fairbank and Pierce, both located in Arizona. In 1896, Alvord settled in Cochise County, where he married Lola Ochoa, bought a farm, and adopted a more settled life. Once again, he found himself serving as deputy sheriff. However, just 2 years later, Alvord had to go through the pain of losing his father. Then, suddenly and without explanation, in late December 1899, Alvord resigned as deputy sheriff, leaving the community confused. Almost immediately after submitting his badge, Alvord made the fateful decision to abandon his wife and indulge in a life of crime. Teaming up with notorious outlaws Billy Stiles, Bill Downing, and three-toed Jack Dunlop, individuals he had previously pursued as a lawman, Alvord has formed a formidable gang. Operating in Cochise County, Alvord and Stiles committed a series of daring armed robberies. However, their criminal assault ended when law enforcement arrested them. Somehow, they managed to escape. On February 15, 1900, Dunlop was killed by attorney Jeff Milton in a negligent train robbery in Fairbank, Arizona, and Bravo gang rookie Juan Yoas was wounded. Later that year, Alvord was arrested again and taken to Tombstone. In a bold act of loyalty, Billy Stiles rode into Tombstone and staged a blatant attack, wounding the deputy responsible for protecting Alvord. This bold act helped Alvord and 24 other prisoners escape from captivity. In 1902, Alvord assisted Arizona Ranger Captain Burton C. Mossman in capturing notorious Mexican gangster Agustin Chacon. This partnership was motivated by Alvord's desire to share prize money and reduce sentences. After Chacon was arrested and later convicted of murder, which eventually led him to being hanged in Solomonville, Alvord thought a lot and made an important decision. He chose not to surrender. Instead, Alvord, along with Stiles, returned to their criminal path, now pursued relentlessly by the Arizona Rangers. In December 1903, the law enforcement team almost rounded them up, but Alvord and Stiles managed to escape. Alvord even tried to fake their deaths using the bodies of 2 unidentified Mexicans. Alvord secretly sent these bodies to Tombstone, claiming they were his and Stiles'. However, a quick check revealed that the dead were not 2 wanted outlaws. Relentless in pursuit of the outlaws, the determined Arizona Rangers eventually cornered them near the international border, precisely in the vicinity of Mexico near Naco, on February 1904. Despite their initial resistance, both Alvord and his accomplices were wounded and eventually forced to surrender. After their arrest, Alvord was held within the walls of the Yuma Territory Prison for a period of 2 years. After his release, he announced his intention to embark on a fresh start. Boarding a train, he began his journey to Central America. He was last seen in 1910, during this time, as a worker on the ambitious Panama Canal project. After this point, the details of Alvord's next fate remain a mystery, leaving his final fate unknown to this day. While Alvord's fate may still be shrouded in uncertainty, his story continues to capture the imagination, prompting us to ponder his underlying motives and underlying factors. The charges pushed him to a life of lawlessness. Was it the thrill of rebellion, the temptation of riches, or was it simply the irresistible allure of the wild and lawless West that drew him in? We may never really know. Burton Alvord's story serves as a reminder that even the most respectable characters can succumb to the dark forces that exist on the margins of society. His legacy is a testament to the complexities of human nature as we grapple with the duality of good and evil that exists within us all. Burton Alvord, once a respected lawman turned notorious outlaw, leaves behind a legacy that stirs both fascination and introspection. His name is etched along with countless others who walked the thin line between justice and lawlessness in a time when the Wild West was untamed. In his story, we find a reminder of the complex nature of the human personality and the enduring appeal of the Old West, forever capturing the imaginations of all of us. Please like and share if you find the video content interesting and useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment below so as not to miss the upcoming interesting videos. Thanks for watching.